Hey guys, Ludicrous here with a full completion walkthrough for Replicator. This was released on the 26th of May 2023. It was developed by Meridian 4 and published by Ratalaika Games. It can be found in both the Xbox and PlayStation stores for $9.99. However, during launch week it currently has a 25% discount applied. It's a top-down twin-stick shooter with roguelike elements. Each level is randomly generated, so no two runs are ever the same, which makes this a little bit tricky to try and produce a guide for. The full completion should take you anywhere between 1 to 3 hours, depending on your skill rating and luck factor. There's a total of 11 achievements or trophies to get. Most of them you'll be able to grab quite easily. The last two you'll probably be chasing is defeating the second boss and collecting 5 armor plates. So let's jump into a new game. I will give you some hints, tips and run you through the tutorial. After that I will put timestamps in the description below to key points of interest. During those periods of interest I will also do a little bit of commentary to explain what's going on. Head through the door at the very top of the room to go into the training area. In here we'll initially need to collect a key card. Just walk around the corner and pick that up and then press A on this yellow door to open it. Through here we'll have a quick look at some of the mines that can be found in the game. If you walk up to them they will explode, so just back off so you don't take any damage. Here we're going to be introduced to a currency system which is nanoparticles. This is one of 3 within the game. You can see them in the very top right. I have 1100. These are used to buy weapons or upgrades that can be found on the floor, and they can be also used at terminals to restock ammo and health. In this room we'll have some medikits which we can't use because we're at full health, and at the very top of the room is some shockwave upgrades. This is the ability on left bumper which we're going to be using in this room to clear out the enemies, as we don't currently have any ammo. This ability is useful for destroying objects, furniture, boxes, that kind of thing, because you'll tend to find ammo within those. Once you've got that key card we're going to head up into this room and we'll have a selection of 2 guns. My personal preference was always something with range, so either an auto gun or a laser rifle. Head into the next room, we're going to need to buy ammo for the gun, which is going to cost us 500 nanoparticles. There's also some down here on the floor if you do need them. When restocking ammo at the terminals, it will only restock the weapon that you currently have in your hand, so just be aware that you switch weapon with Y to make sure that the one you want to restock is in your hand. Killing enemies also has a low percentage of dropping ammo. There is 4 ammo types, so I tend to pick 2 different guns with different ammo types, otherwise you're going to run out of ammo pretty quickly. In this room we get an introduction to the medical terminal. You can go over to it and press A for a cost to refill your health. In this final combat room there is also a mini boss, so these guys are a lot tougher, fire a lot more bullets at you and tend to take a lot longer to kill. I've just pressed right bumper there to use my special ability. Again, this is completely random depending on what character you get. In this case, this raccoon type character has an auto turret. I just picked up a terminal key there. These are the keys that exit the levels, so once you pick those up you can usually go straight to the exit. In the very top here there's a couple of examples of guns, there's ammo crates there to restock your ammo, and there's a couple of abilities here on the left hand side. These are all going to be completely random as they are throughout the game. You can also press X to open the map, and that'll give you a kind of a top-down view. However, this doesn't pause the game, so just make sure enemies aren't around when you open it. We're then going to use this back to Sputnik terminal at the very top, and this is how we get back to the ship. Shortly after arriving back, you should get the rookie achievement pop for completing the training. As we move to the staging area, there's a little terminal here. It's currently on roguelike mode, but if you switch it to tactics you'll be able to see the description of weapons and implants before you pick them up, such as this. So the descaler here and the auto gun. This is the staging area. These are the default weapons that you're going to go into this run with. These are completely random, so they'll be different every time. Of course we're going to switch it to easy mode to get through this a little bit quicker. You get extra lives and don't take as much damage. And then you come to the ship or the preparation area. Here you can buy a couple of things to help you start off your run, but in this case we're just going to dive straight into it. So there's extra lives. In this room would be where you create your weapons once you eventually get the blueprints, and here is the workshop once you've bought the upgrade. We're going to head up to the very top the console of the ship, and then we're going to pick one of 3 locations to go. I recommend picking a station initially that's going to either give you max health or an upgrade cube, because we're going to need those guys a little later on. Once we spawned in, I'm going to open the map by pressing X, and I'm looking for a green access key. There'll be only one on the map, as you can see here, and these are randomly generated, so they could be anywhere. On these first couple of runs, we're just going to prioritize getting to the boss as quickly as possible and get those out the way. After that, we'll then start cleaning up the other miscellaneous achievements. So all I'm going to do here is open the maps, find where the key card is, prioritize going to that first of all, picking the card up, and then getting to the exit. If you are running low on ammo as you're killing enemies in between these rooms, like I said, you can use your shockwave ability on left bumper to destroy the crates and furniture, and you should be able to find some additional ammo in those. Keep your range as best you can. The bug-like creatures are going to try and melee you. Everything else tends to have a weapon, a ranged weapon of some sort that's going to shoot at you, so just do your best to avoid any gunfire. You can also use the environment and the walls to put a blockade in between you. The silver crest here with the red orb in the middle is one of the shield or armor pieces. If you notice your health in the top left, the very first heart has a shield over it. What you need to do to get the achievement is to get all 5 of your hearts covered with a shield in one run. If you take damage, that's also going to knock the shield off, so you have to do it pretty cleanly. However, this first run is going to be relatively short, so it's pointless trying to get those at the moment. So what I'm going to just focus on doing is getting this key card, getting to the first boss and getting him killed. I'm now just a couple of rooms away from the first terminal key. So I will keep checking my map from time to time to see if I'm going the right way. So I'm going to go up and then left to get the terminal key. Once we picked up the terminal key, we'll get a little green arrow on our HUD or interface. There we go. So that's pointing down south somewhere. I'm now going to fire up my map, and we're looking for a little kind of cupboard room, which is there with a pink door on it. That tends to indicate where you need to go. So we're looking for a small room with a pinky red door, and that's usually where you need to get to escape the ship. So I'm going to make a beeline to that. However, I took a wrong way, and we've picked up a battery. A battery can be used to power up your ability. So if you've used your ability, you can then press right bumper again to use it for a second time, but it'll consume a battery. A battery is also used to power up the map terminals. The map terminals are really handy for exposing everything on the map so you can see everything. And we're going to use that a little later on to find all the shield pieces. So at the moment, I'm just making my way to that locked room, which the arrow is pointing to, clearing the enemies and the mines as I go. Again, if I'm running low on ammo, I'm going to be using my shockwave ability to smash a few of these crates. Make sure that you don't melee the explosive barrels, of course. As on this raccoon, I'm going to throw my turret down, and it's going to do some additional damage to this mini boss. Once he's dead, we're going to pick up the upgrade cube that he's kindly dropped amongst all this acid. Pick that up, and then we can head up and interact with this red terminal. This is going to unlock the exit. You're free to explore now at this point, but we're just going to hold A to leave the station. This is then going to throw us back to our ship, where we can prepare for the next station. So in the top left here, as you come in, there is a medical terminal which will cost you 500 for its first use. There's also an ammo terminal for 500, and you can also sell your upgrade cubes. So we've got 2 upgrade cubes, so we could sell them for 150 each if we are running a little low on health. However, we're going to keep hold of them for now. I'm now selecting my second location. This reward is going to be for upgrade cubes, so once we complete this, we should get 4 or 5 upgrade cubes. Again, I'm just searching out the key card, so looking for the green key card, which was up on the left hand side there. We're just going to make a beeline directly to that card again and get to the next level. Again, this level is randomly generated, so it'll look completely different to yours. There's also different enemies in here which have different attacks. Just keep your wits about you, keeping them at range and putting something in between you and it, so a box or a wall, just to give you a little bit of cover. So in this room, I got an access card. there is also an achievement for opening 5 doors with the access cards. The access card doors were shown in the tutorial. Those are the yellow ones. You can also see them on the overview map when you're pressing X. I found the best way to get 5 in one run is to wait until you have 5 cards in your inventory and then go to a station that has at least 5 doors to open and then crack them all open in one go. I'm not doing this on the first run here because once we kill the first boss, we're automatically going to get killed and it's going to restart our run again. So it's kind of pointless trying to save up 5 cards because we're not going to get to that. So I will note when the best point is to try and save up some cards. So certainly for these first couple of runs, we're not going to have enough time to get the access cards and the armor pieces. So we're just ignoring those for now, prioritizing getting max health and those upgrade cubes because we'll need at least 10 to unlock the workstation. So again, just making my way up to the access card that's going to get us out of here. The next level after this is going to be the first boss fight. There is a total of 2 boss fights that you need to go through to get the full completion. The boss fights are the same every time, so they're not random. So what you're going to see here for the boss encounter is going to be what you're going to expect on yours. Made a bit of a wrong turn here and found a weapon upgrade. So if you find one of those on the floor, change to whatever weapon you want the upgrade to go on and then press A to apply the upgrade. And then we're slowly making our way through to that little small room with the red door, which is going to be the exit. These terminals are always guarded by mini bosses, and as we make our way through the stations, they get slowly harder. Eventually you'll get to a case where there's 2 mini bosses defending the door or the room to exit. These doors are locked until you kill at least 1 mini boss. So if the room does have 2 mini bosses in, you manage to kill the first one, you might be struggling or really low on health on killing the second mini boss. What you can do is quickly do a dart and exit the level before he kills you. So this mini boss is obviously a little bit different to the last one. I'm just going to use this wall as cover and keep peeking in between his shots. Also remember to keep using your ability. So in the top left there is an orange bar under your health. That's an indication of when you can next use your ability. Mini boss is out the way. We're just going to go and hit this terminal again to unlock all the doors. And then we're just going to hold A to exit the station. We're going to go back to our ship for a second time. Look at our health. We don't need any health. We are a little low on ammo though, so I'm going to restock that weapon. As this is a boss fight and we're going to die after completing this boss, it's pointless buying any cards or batteries. We only have one option to go to, which is the boss. Outside the boss room you tend to get 2 random items. This could also be health and ammo, and then you get a little bit of a notepad or text document there that tells you what to expect from the boss fight. This guy just floats around and it's a bit of a bullet hell, so all we're going to do is avoid his attacks. He shoots out orange ones that tend to just go in a straight line, but then he fires out these red ones that will trace after you. So just do your best to avoid these as best you can. Use the boxes while they're there for cover, but they will eventually die. There is 2 pillars at the bottom here, so one here on the left side and one on the right. These are persistent throughout the fight, so you can use them for a cover as well. Again, remember to keep flicking out your ability, whatever it may be. It may be invincibility, it may be the drone. I found that the drone or the turret was really useful to do additional damage, and especially when you're running low on ammo. Again, if you're running low on ammo during the boss fight, dealing damage to the boss will trigger him to drop some health packs or ammo. If there's a couple of boxes around the outside of the arena, you can use your shockwave ability on left bumper to destroy them, and you may get lucky and get a little bit of ammo in it. There is going to be situations where you're completely out of ammo and can't fire any more rounds. You will have to resort to using shockwave on your left bumper and whatever your ability is. So you could have invincibility, which is great. You can then have 5 seconds of invincibility, run up to the boss and keep spamming shockwave. Or in my case, you've got a turret, so you're going to have to wait it out every time the turret's available. Throw it out, hope it does a little bit of damage to knock off an ammo pack. In this case, the turret has actually killed him. we're going to get an upgrade cube. We're also going to get the baptism of fire, and we have a rewards room at the very back here. I got a load of cubes, which is lovely. We also get a blueprint, and we have a console here. When you use this console for the first time, it will kill you and take you back to the staging area. Here we have a selection of upgrades, anything from ammo capacity right through to upgrading or building a workbench. So that's what we're going to go for first. So the bottom left here is workbench damage. That's going to cost you 10 upgrade cubes. Buy that because that's needed for an achievement. And then you can buy whatever else you want. So in this case, I upgraded my turret ability, and then I bought some max bullets so I can hold a little bit more ammo, which I found useful. And then on the left hand side, I made buying ammo cheaper as well. After that, before we start our next run, what we want to do is go to the top right, and there is a danger level. Because we killed the boss, it's then increased it to level 2, which makes it a little bit more difficult. We're going to knock that back down to 1 because we want it nice and easy. Go next door into the staging area. You're going to get 1 random implant and 1 random gun. And we're now going to take those into our next run. So again, stick it on easy mode, and we're going to be back to the very start. Head around our ship. We can buy an access card now. We're just going to buy 1 of those because we need a little bit of money to use on the workstation. So head in here. The workstations are now unlocked, and there is 1 here for upgrading your weapon. You should have 2 weapons now, so you can press Y to switch between them. The upgrade was a little bit out of my reach, so I've had to sell 1 of the cubes there at the sell station, and then I've upgraded 1 of the weapons to increase the damage. Now that we've got that achievement for using the workbench, we're going to pick 1 of these starting areas. I'm going to go for max health, I believe, this time. Once you spawn in, I'm just going to press X, and I'm going to hunt down that access key, which is only a few rooms away, but it is a little bit of a trek. Make our way to that, and then we're going to focus on going through the first 2 stages again, killing the first boss. But instead of dying on the boss this time, what we're going to do is progress through to level 4, level 5, and then we're going to get to the second boss fight, which I'll probably pick up commentary when we get a little closer to that. So I'm going to go quiet now for a bit, and I will put timestamps in the description, and I'll shout up once we get to something of interest. On the second run, on the second station here, we're going to be looking for the access key on the map. Make a note, just above my character there is a blue terminal with like a blue circle in the middle. That is the blue map terminal. If you use a battery on that, it will display all these question marks and let you know where certain things are. This is really handy for the shields when you're collecting those a little later on. We also have a luck terminal here, which there isn't any achievements regarding, but next to that with the exclamation mark, so that red terminal with the exclamation mark is a donor terminal. There is an achievement for using one of these at least once. They have a negative effect and a positive one, so it may take health off you. In this case, it's going to break my implant that I currently have, but I'm going to get 5 upgrade cubes. I would suggest probably not using those going forth. Just use it once to get the achievement and then just continue on with your run. We're now going to kill the first boss for a second time. If you are going to do a perfect run like this, you will only have to kill him twice. If you do die from this point onwards, of course, you will be reset back to the start, like any other roguelike game, and you will have to fight the boss again. As always, you're getting upgrades each run, so these should get a little bit easier each time. I've got a little bit better weapons, my turret's upgraded, so should rinse through this boss pretty quickly. We're now back to the ship after defeating the first boss. We haven't been killed this time. So this is a good opportunity to stock ammo up. You'll notice that I picked up an upgrade that allows me to get an access card every time I return to the ship. So what I'm doing here is making sure that I have at least 5 access cards. I've got 6 at this point. And then I'm buying a battery to use the map terminal. So as we spawn in, I'm just going to avoid this mine, and then we're going to have a quick look at the map. There is a map terminal just below us, which I'm going to use. My thoughts here were that I was going to use the map terminal to get the armor pieces. So you need 5 armor pieces equipped at one time. And then I was going to use the 5 access keys to unlock the 5 doors that we need. So I've used the map there. You'll get an achievement for using the map terminal for the first time. Just make sure the area is clear of enemies, and then I'm going to have a quick look at the map. So everything on the map now should be visible. So the armor plates are the grey ones with the shields. So I can see 2 here. So you tend to get 2 to 3 per station. I never see anything less or more than that. So it should take you roughly 2 stations, if you're lucky, to get the 5 armor pieces. So this station would give me 2. My hope was that moving on to the next station I would get one with 3. Sadly I don't on this run. I get one with a 2 again. So I only managed to get 4 pieces in one run. So I do pick that up on a 3rd and final cleanup run. However, on this section or this station I do open all 5 doors that are required. So opening the map, just double check that you have enough cards. So in the top right, the card currently has 6 there. And then there is gold doors. All those gold doors require an access key. If you open 5 of those within one station, which I'm going to do shortly, you will get the achievement for that. Sadly, I'm not going to pick up the 5 armor pieces in this run. So I'm going to start a 3rd run after killing the 2nd boss, and that run's going to purely be for going around collecting the armor pieces. So I'm going to be collecting batteries, using those on the map terminals, spot the armor pieces, make our way to them, pick those up, and then move on to the next station as quickly as possible. Like I said, if I'd got those on this run, it could have been anywhere between 40 to 50 minutes completion time and well under that hour mark. But sadly, not this time. Our luck wasn't with us on this run. So it will take us a 3rd run to get the full completion. So during this station, I'm now going to pick up the access card and then going to backtrack, open the golden doors and collect the 2 armor pieces, thinking that I was going to get the other 3 on the next mission, which sadly I do not do. So we're now coming up to the 5th and final door that we need to open on the station. So there we go, Burglar for opening 5 doors on one station. Again, to do this achievement, just make sure that you've got at least 5 key cards before you enter a station. So stock up on those, don't use them in any stations prior to that, and then splurge them all on one station to get that achievement. I'm now going to go quiet for a little bit and speak up when we get to this second boss fight. Our sixth station now is going to be the second boss fight, so make sure that your ammo is fully stocked, you've got full health. You don't need any keycards or batteries as we're going to be dying soon as we kill this boss anyway. So kick it off, station 6 of 1. There'll be 2 upgrades or drops just outside, so there's ammo and nanoparticles in this case, which are completely random, and then we're going to teleport into the Scorcher. So it's pointless doing any damage to the main body of the boss in this room because he has 2 repair turrets either side of him. So one here on the south side and one to the northeast of him. What you want to do is primarily focus those down because you won't deal any damage to the boss until they're destroyed. The Scorcher Boss here doesn't move at all. He's permanently stationary in the middle of the room, so you don't need to worry about him approaching you. However, he is constantly firing bullets out 360 around him. In most cases, your Xbox, certainly my Series X, started lagging here, so there's so much on screen that it's struggling to process it. It looks like I'm playing the game in slow motion, it's just the Xbox slowing down. This kind of helped because there were so many bullets on the screen, I could squeeze in between each one with a little bit more time. But yes, all we're going to do is try and keep ourselves alive, dodging the bullets and bombs from the Scorcher. He has 3 attack patterns, so you'll shoot out these spiral arrows, quite a lot of those. Following those, he'll then fire out some slightly wider purple arcs in all around him, and then finally he'll start firing these bombs which leave a flaming residue on the floor. Make sure you don't step in those because you will take damage. So here I've just destroyed the first repair turret. I'm just going ham on the second one to destroy that. I've thrown my ability on the floor, my turret, to do a little bit additional damage. And then once this second repair turret is destroyed, we can then start dealing damage to the Scorcher. This does take a hell of a lot of ammunition, and there isn't many boxes around the outside of the room. So you will find you get pretty low on ammo. I think there's a couple of instances in this boss fight I have no ammo at all. So I'm just relying on the turret to cool down and deal damage. And then when we get to the bomb throwing stage, where he's throwing the fire bombs out, you can get a little bit closer to him, and I am using the shockwave ability on left bumper. So whenever he drops some ammo or health, I try to squeeze my way through the bullets to pick it up. My ability's off cooldown again, so throwing that down. Just rinse and repeat this until he's dead. Once he's died, you'll unlock the Jokes Over achievement for defeating the second boss. That's probably the hardest achievement to get, so well done if you've got that. We're very close to completion. We'll then move into the back room, pick up the rewards, and then use the terminal. We won't then move on to station 7. It'll actually kill us again and we'll go back to our ship. Here, just restock, buy whatever upgrades you want, and then we're going to prioritize our last third run, just getting those 5 armor cells. Now that we've got the boss out the way and we've just got a little bit of cleanup to pick up the miscellaneous achievement that we're missing called Armoured, what we're going to do is make sure that we have at least one battery. We start with 3, so that's fine. And I'm going to buy an access card for the hell of it. And then we're going to go and hunt down those 5 armor shells. Since we're just looking for those, we're just going to go for the nanoparticle rewards. This is going to allow us to restock ammo, health, and buy batteries where needed for the map terminals. Luckily, at the start of this map, I do have a map terminal right next to me. So we're going to head over, download the map. It's going to use a battery up, but we have 3 of them. Whack the map open by pressing X, and unfortunately on this map there is only 1 armor cell. I will go and pick it up, and then we'll transition into station 2. So once we pick that cell up, move into the next station, rinse and repeat. We'll then use a battery on the map terminal, see how many cells we have, go and pick those up. And then if we haven't got enough on the second station, we will have to kill the boss for a 3rd time. Then move on to station 4, rinse and repeat until we've got 5 cells. Like I said, if you take damage on those cells, you will lose them, so you will have to accrue a few more until you've got a full 5 on your health bar. I don't believe I need to talk any further over that. It's pretty straightforward on how to get those cells. So I will close out the video here. I'll keep it running so you see the full completion. Thanks for watching. Drop it a like if you found it useful, and feel free to subscribe if you want to see more content from myself.